guys, so I am pretty defeated today. The past couple days have been a complete nightmare. So I'm going to just share everything with you that happened because it is just insane and I am so stressed out and so tired and so just done with everything. But basically, I'm hoping that you guys can learn from my mistake again. So because this is my biggest mistake of all time. So let's just get to it. So the other day, it was a pretty normal day. I made a video, everything was going fine. I decided to just check on my animals and feed them, and I noticed that Kiwi, my leopard gecko, was just gone. I had no idea where he was, and so I freaked out. I checked the entire reptile room. I tore my room apart, took everything out from under my bed, checked the entire house, was just panicking the entire time. I checked every single shoe in the house, every crevice, every vent, literally everything, and I could not find him anywhere. So since I redid my reptile room, Kiwi's enclosure, he has one of those enclosures where you have to slide the lid on, and it wasn't able to fit where I was keeping his enclosure without me tipping his entire tank sideways to slide it on and hook it. So I basically just set the lid on top of it, and that's what I've been doing for the past couple weeks, and it's been fine. That's a huge mistake right there. So my number one thing that I want everyone to take from this video is you never underestimate your reptile's ability to escape, because they will do it. And don't have the same type of thinking that I did where I was like, well, he's been fine this entire time now, so there's not going to be a problem. Because there's a problem and eventually it will happen, and that's exactly what happened. So I couldn't find Kiwi whatsoever, and I didn't know what to do anymore, and I have been really sick lately, and stress makes me flare up even more. So I just wasn't sleeping at night, and I've just been miserable and really sick. In the middle of the night I would just get up and check to see if maybe Kiwi was coming back. My plan was to basically just put his hides in the middle of the floor along with the little tub of crickets, and I was hoping to lure him back into the reptile room, or just to come out from wherever he was and maybe go into his hides since he's comfortable with them and recognizes them and feels safe there. But I checked it and nothing was there in the middle of the night, and then I was really sick, wasn't feeling good. Then the next day I woke up, went to go check and see if Kiwi was around. He wasn't. So I couldn't find Kiwi anywhere, and then I decided to just look into Bowie's enclosure, because I noticed that Bowie's enclosure, the door seemed a little bit more open than it is usually. And this is a whole other issue, because I bought Bowie's enclosure. He's a rainbow boa, by the way, for anyone that isn't aware. And I got his new enclosure, and it isn't very well ventilated whatsoever, and it gets way too hot. So I've been asking my boyfriend to drill holes in it, but it hasn't happened for the past week. So what I do is I crack the doors a tiny little bit just to get some airflow in there, and during the day when I have the heat pad on, I have a fan on blowing in there. It's just ridiculous. I just don't want it to get too hot in there, and it definitely does because there's not enough ventilation, so that's the only way I can keep it ventilated. And Bowie escaped. So there was no Bowie in the enclosure whatsoever. So now I had a leopard gecko and my snake missing. And I was just freaking out. I just lost it. I was crying, ugly crying, just losing my mind. Didn't know if someone was stealing my reptiles or what was going on. So my boyfriend basically tore apart the house even more, was just looking everywhere. And then eventually I found Bowie, and she went through the reptile room into my bedroom, into our closet, and went under a dresser in the closet. So I was able to get her out, and I was so relieved to know that she wasn't stolen or lost or anything. I knew where she was. So I got her back in her enclosure. And again, other mistake, I've been leaving the doors cracked in her enclosure for the past couple of weeks, and I'm like, well, she hasn't come out yet, so we'll be fine. Huge problem. Don't ever do that. They will get out. They can and they will. she squeezed her body through those glasses and opened the door, so it happened. So I got Bowie back into her enclosure, and Kiwi was still missing. This is the second day that Kiwi was missing. Still had no clue where he was. I looked everywhere again, just double checked everything, just insane, could not find him anywhere. I just felt like I wasn't gonna see him ever again, and it's the worst feeling because I didn't know when I would see him again, if I would, and I was just terrified that he was just going to starve to death and just be suffering somewhere in my house without me even knowing. And it's just, I couldn't sleep with that thought. Like, it is so awful. I felt so bad. So I didn't even know what to do. So I was resting a little bit because I've been flaring up and I've been really, really sick, and this stress is just killing me. So I just decided to rest a little bit, and then I decided to just look one last time underneath the refrigerator, because that's one spot that I've been looking up online that leopard geckos always seem to go to. So that is where I went. My boyfriend and I already looked under the refrigerator many times. We couldn't see anything. This time I decided to look. I don't know how, but I flashed the light in one weird way and I was able to see Kiwi's orange tail. And he was under there. So I was just freaking out. So excited I found him. And then I stuck a little pole under the refrigerator. He was trying to hunt the little pole. I could just see his little face. He came out once, but then ran back under. So I decided to lure him out with a super worm because he loves his food and it always works. So he just came all the way out of the refrigerator and just came to hunt the super worm. And then I got him and put him back in his enclosure. So both of the animals are now safe and secure. This was the worst experience of my life. I've never been so stressed out ever, I don't think. Like, oh my God, I can't even handle it. It's been so bad. I've had reptiles now for 8 years and I have never lost an animal before. So the fact that it happened literally 2 nights in a row back to back was just insane. It just blows my mind that this even happened. And it's so terrifying, and I feel so bad for anyone that has to go through this. So just please, just don't be like me. Make sure everything is secure. Do not get lazy or think that your animal won't escape because it hasn't before. If there's a little glimmer of a chance that it can, it most likely will. So just be very, very careful because you don't want to go through what I just went through. That was literal hell. And I don't want anyone to have to deal with that, and I don't want your reptiles to be stressed either. I just feel so bad for them that they went through that. So just awful. So I just thought I would share this because I'm just a mess over here and I don't want anyone else to go through this. So just be careful. And I have more videos coming. They will be less depressing. I just thought I would share this. So again, have a wonderful day. Hopefully your day will be better than mine, but I mean, I got my animals back, so I couldn't be happier about that. I will definitely be able to sleep tonight knowing that my animals are safe and in their proper enclosures and just good. So again, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. And here's the culprit. He is trying to hunt. He doesn't even realize how much stress he just put me under. He is now the little Houdini instead of Kiwi. You are so lucky that you are cute because, oh my God, don't ever do that again. I'm the one that feeds you.